friends. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Success Factor. I'm your host, Trent Christensen. This is another one of our ActiveCast series where I have the opportunity to go and hike on top of Bald Mountain in Utah with Adam Hoyt, who we had some great discussions with. We had some great cinematography, shooting and shots and beautiful sunset sitting there on top of Bald Mountain at 11,900 feet elevation. And we watched the sunset. It was just amazing. He began to explain how outdoors has helped save his life. And that is his sanctuary, where he goes and reconnects with himself, where he taps into his spirituality, where he heals, grows, learns, and develops, and cultivates creativity, such as this new venture he has launched called Outdoorgasm, where he is trying to get other people outdoors so that they can go out and have an amazing experience and connect with themselves spiritually, physically, cognitively, any way you want to look at it, where it can help someone heal and grow. This episode was amazing. We had to hike up 8,000 foot elevation up to 11,900 foot elevation. It was so rewarding. And we deployed the drone, got some great footage. It was a lot of fun. It was special to me. It was really nice to hear from Adam and some of his struggles in life and how he's overcome them. And part of that is going outdoors and being able to connect and heal. He had some great insights and success factors that you can extrapolate and incorporate into your life on how you can overcome your own challenges. And you can find your passion and your mission in life. And you can align that into your dreams and visions and help shape them as you put forth hard effort and some creativity, some healing. And so without further ado, check out the episode. Thank you. Adam, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. It's good to see you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for hauling my butt up here on this mountain today.
Yeah, glad you could come to my church.
This is quite the church.
My holy ground.
I would say this is probably one of the best holy grounds I've been to.
Yeah, it's one of my, I consider it my spiritual healing mountain. I've done a lot of healing up here through the years and dealing with traumas and stuff like that. Just come up here and come up here alone and watch a sunset and just get in touch with Mother Earth.
Yeah, that's so cool, dude. This is probably the best place to do that I've personally ever been to. I mean, we're sitting at what, like
12,000.
Baldy or
Bald Mountain.
Bald
in
Mountain.
the Hayuentas, Utah.
It's just incredible. Everywhere you look on this mountain, you have a view. There's nothing obstructing your view, and it's just serene. It's quiet. It's peaceful. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
What got you into coming outdoors to connect with yourself and connect with your spiritual side? What got you into this? Where'd your passion come from?
I don't know. Actually, I was just always drawn to the outdoors, being alone. I find that I've always found from a young age that I recharge my batteries by escaping the city, escaping people, and spending time by myself and just me, my thoughts, and I always just felt a connection where, I don't know, it's like a spiritual connection. And in fact, your brother and I, Ryan, started that outdoor journey pretty much together for gaining a love for the outdoors. Yeah, Ryan and I, from an early age, your dad would take us out to Joshua Tree. And then, obviously when we could start driving ourselves, we'd go out there and do that and go backpack camp in Joshua Tree, growing up in Southern California. And then I've just always been drawn to the outdoors. It really is my church. It's just where I commune. Yeah.
It's interesting. Like, Ryan has always told me when I have stressful moments too, to get outside, go outdoors and go hike. But it's something that I personally haven't connected with or found that as my sanctuary. Has that for you evolved over time and become more and more prevalent or more impactful to your healing? Or did it happen early on and you're chasing that feeling from an early on age? What is it?
Well, growing up, I grew up in a religious household. I'm not religious anymore, but I went out to the desert to seek answers. That's where I went, by myself. I remember, when most people in high school, when most teenagers are out partying and everything, and again, I had my fair share of partying, but I was odd in that I would ditch school to drive to Joshua Tree by myself and go camp, backpack for a night and ditch school. When I was 18, and I could write my own sick notes. Please excuse Adam. He's sick, signed Adam, and my parents lived in Texas. I stayed in California, graduate with my friends, but yeah, I would just ditch and drive out to the desert by myself and camp. And I found through the years that so many people, especially in this day and age, are afraid to be alone. Yeah. They're afraid of the quiet, and to me, I feel like when I'm not in that quiet, I'm running from something, and part of my story is addiction and alcoholism, and that was an escape. And I think when we can't ever be alone and we have to be in activities and always in social events, that's another escape, And I have found that some of the best healing I've done is alone, because it forces me to go inward and to face my demons and to work on the things that I need to work on rather than running from it. Because I can be in the city, always running if I'm never spent a minute alone, or even if I am alone, if I'm preoccupied on social media or whatever and not taking a break, I'm running from something. And so I have found really important to where it's not just something I required myself to do, but it's a passion I have, is to get out there. So 90% of the things I'm adventuring about every week, but 90% of the time I'm alone. Not that I don't enjoy company, but I find that the best spiritual experiences I ever have are alone. When I'm, on a setting like this, watching the sunset and just going inward. I mean, it sometimes brings me to tears of joy, and it's just this power and this feeling that I can't describe. And I don't want to try to put a name on what it is. Some people would call it God. Some people, I just like to just know it is. It's a feeling I can feel, and I know how to get it, and I chase it.
That is incredible. Like, how are you doing today with your addiction history, and how do you fight those demons or those urges on a daily basis if you're not outside and outdoors?
Yeah, so I was I started drinking compulsively. I was late 20s, and I was in law school, got offered a position with a great law firm for when I graduated, and they said, enjoy your last year of law school because your life's over when you join us. They required a ton of billable hours, and so I picked up alcohol, and I was a closet drinker. And it led to, by the time I graduated law school, it was about a fifth of vodka a night, and I was still functioning, still getting up. Never did morning drinking. I thought there was no way I'd ever do that. Anyway, after I start my career, it was like a daily thing. On my drive home, I'd pick up some vodka and start the night and just keep a casual buzz through the night. Never got sloppy or anything. No one actually knew I was drinking. I was able to keep appearances. Anyway, through some traumatic events that happened in my life, I'm an alpine mountaineer. I climb snow-covered mountains all over. It's a pretty crazy story, but in a nutshell, I lost my best friend on a climb in an avalanche.
What, were you with him?
I blame myself. What?
Were you with him?
I planned it. I canceled on him. Well, I lived in Dallas. I had just gotten back from Peru, climbing in the Andes down there, and he lived in Utah. I said, hey, I'm going to be there for Christmas and New Year's. Let's climb Timpanogos on New Year's Eve. And so when I flew in, the weather looked horrible. it was warmer, so snow was getting a little soft, and then a cold front blizzard was coming in, and he wanted to do the north face, the Aspen Grove side, which is just this big avalanche bowl. And I was looking at the conditions. I said, hey, I don't feel comfortable with that route. The avalanche conditions are horrible right now. And he said, no, I want to do that side. I said, let's do the southwest side, the Everest Ridge. It's out, it's less avalanche danger. And he's like, no, I feel comfortable with the Aspen Grove. And for 4 nights in a row, I tried to convince him not to do, I'm like, let's do the other route. I don't feel comfortable with it. And so the night before we're supposed to leave, the night before New Year's Eve, I said, hey, I know I planned this trip, but I'm gonna have to cancel on you. I'm doing the other route because I do not feel comfortable because of the avalanche conditions. And my last words were to him, I said, I hope this isn't a life and death decision. I don't want to see you on the news tomorrow night. And so he did a 6 a.m. start on New Year's Eve. I was going to do an evening climb. And so I was packing my gear about 5 p.m. and my parents were in town in Utah at their mountain house. And my dad called me and said, hey, turn on the news. Marshall's missing in an avalanche.
How did you feel when you first heard that news? What emotional state were you in?
You know, I blamed myself for a while because I planned it, you know, but his wife was a sweetheart because she could sense that I was beating myself up over it.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I've had a lot of time to process it and grieve it. But then I became a binge drinker to where I could never maintain just drinking in the evenings, because if I drink in the evenings, I'm drinking the next morning. Anyway, I got to a place where I felt like I would never be able to get sober. I tried, you know, right after my buddy died, my first wife left me. It was a pretty rough year.
Yeah.
And I've had many rock bottom. Trust me, I've done it all. I have to experience it all to learn from it. I'm a hard learner. I've experienced the worst hell ever. You know, most of it self-induced, some not. But like, I mean, just to sum it up, that was 2006. I spent 3 years struggling, trying to get sober, then just accepting the fact I never will be, and that I'll have these stints of sobriety, go on this bender and, you know, wreak havoc. And then I had a bottom. I mean, it's very personal, but it's my story. I had a DUI camping with my kids, and that was pretty traumatic for me and for them.
Were you the only adult there? Did you?
Yeah, I was the only adult.
So the CPS have to
I was
come?
in Montana, yeah. This was 2010. And
wow. Okay.
Anyway, that I mean, I couldn't even talk about that for years.
Wow.
Because it was too sensitive to talk about. Yeah. But you know what? I thanked the cop that arrested me sometime later when I was sober, and you know, I'm like, you saved my life and my kids and whomever else, you know.
Yeah.
And that wasn't my last drink. It took a few more months, but
Right.
I had this moment of clarity where I fell to my knees, and not in a religious sense, but in a surrender. I fell to my knees, and I was like, I give up. Like, I can't. I don't want to do this. And it's not like I didn't want to get sober before. Once you choose that first drink, you lose all power of choice. I had this moment of just true surrender, falling to my knees metaphorically and physically. And I checked into a rehab, which would like the 4th rehab I had been to at this point.
Wow. Okay.
And that was September 28, 2010. And I got sober. Life became amazing, better than I ever thought it ever could be. Mm-hmm. And met my next wife in sobriety. Got married, had 2 amazing children. I was sober for 7 years, but I allowed complacency to creep into my life because things were good. Yeah. You know, didn't have any temptations to drink, do any of those things. And
you get comfortable, and then you're like, I can handle one.
Life is great. I had an amazing family life. I loved it. I loved coming home every evening to my kids, playing in the yard, having, you know, them all excited when I pull into the driveway. I wasn't working on the spiritual aspect of my life because it is imperative for me to stay sober. There's huge secondary benefits to it, but my medicine is a spiritual connection and being in touch with that. When I start to lose that, I'm in danger.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here. I mean, this is what keeps me alive.
This is your sanctuary.
Physically, spiritually, emotionally. I allowed complacency to come in, and I was not ready for life on life's terms. I was shocked and just how quickly I became happy. For me, this is like essential for not only staying sober, but having, I mean, I'm a very passionate person, and I think my opinion is, if you want to be happy in life, you need to find passion.
You have to.
I'm clearly passionate about outdoor stuff, just being out here, but someone can still feel what I feel doing something else. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They don't have to do this.
Totally.
But find the passion that makes you alive. So like,
well, and your passion has taken you to the next stage of your life, which through all of these downs and all these experiences that you've had, and the learning opportunities you've had, and that has helped shape you, you're now on the cusp of a pretty amazing idea that's going to impact a lot of other people that are struggling, but also find the joy and the spiritual connection being outdoors. And why don't you talk about that? Let's reveal your company that you're starting.
There is anyone who not everyone has this kind of passion and feel it as intensely. And I don't expect everyone would, but like I was, just contemplating like how I feel out here, and my photography, trying to capture those moments and the feelings that best I can through picture form. But I'm like, how do I describe what I feel when I'm out there and do this? And I'm like, the best word I can describe is an outdoorgasm.
It's a climax of your outdoor spiritual interpersonal connection in my eyes. It's like a peaking moment where you have that connection, right?
Well, yeah, it's outdoorgasm, reach your peak.
Reach your peak.
So you got the sexual double entendre, but really the concept behind it is spiritual in nature and how I define outdoorgasm. And so when that popped into my head, I'm like, surely that name is taken. Surely someone has done a concept based on that, and no one had. So within an hour, I had a trademark application in, bought domain name, and so yeah. And how I define outdoorgasm in just simple terms is a unification of mind, body, spirit in the outdoors. So an extreme emotional response in the outdoors, the unification of those
what you experienced 3 weeks after that.
Yeah, when I was here, you got the physical working, getting the endorphins going. You got, emotional clarity where you're at peace, spiritual connectedness, and man, when those three together, in a place like this, like I'll always remember the first time I felt it. I was like 17, out in Joshua Tree by myself, and so yeah. So anyway, I'm like, there are so many cool things we can do with this concept.
Well, and so many people you can touch too, man. Like, think about how many people go outdoors to have a similar experience, but maybe don't call it the same thing, and they're lacking that structure or concept around it. And all the stories that you can share, and even this message that you're putting out there, there's a lot of people that have similar struggles in life that really can benefit by getting outdoors and having the outdoorgasm experience.
Yeah, go out. Make a challenge, even if it's just a quick day hike or something. Try it. You realize you're forced to go inward and address some things, right?
Yeah.
And the more you address those things, the happier you become.
So, Outdoorgasm, I want you to tell me, what is it going to do?
The message really is, the concept, the inspiration behind it is really, it will be an apparel company. So we're going to have like outdoor, outerwear, apparel, like high-end, activewear for outdoor, things like this.
Like high-end quality clothing, not just t-shirts. We're talking like clothes you can go out and do a hike with, and
canyoneering and stuff, and water bottles and stuff like that. We're going to have a percentage of each sale go to nonprofit.
Which nonprofit have you decided?
We want to do a list. The customer gets to select which one.
Oh, when they buy, they could
when they purchase
and they check out, they can choose which nonprofit. That's cool. I like that.
So, but in a nutshell, there's a lot of things we're going to be doing with it. We're going to have like weekly competitions, you know, with an online social media presence. Show us your outdoorgasm, you know, a chance for someone to show off, right? They're, you know, a picture like this, right, of the sunset. Or skydiving, or doing something outdoors, and we'll pick a winner each week, give them free swag or whatever.
Why don't you guys get a film crew with audio, video, multiple camera angles, and actually produce episodes that you can put on YouTube, podcast, your own channel, your own platform, multicast it, and then allow people to go and watch those to get inspiration, ideas, and also get to know your team and connect with you.
Yeah, we're going to be, you know, travel logs pretty much of all of our expeditions, and we want to give it an opportunity through, you know, competition or whatever for a couple people a year or even more than that to go join our expedition team for, you know, when we go to Antarctica or something.
That's amazing.
And so, yeah, I run with a very adventurous crew, and we're doing at least 3 adventures a month, and not just local, like, you know, travel. And so, you know, but we want people to be able to get inspired, see the site, see the, you know, where's the team at this month, you know, and give others a chance to win, you know, try to or come join us, you know. But really it's for inspiration, you know, I mean, because I'm very passionate about this idea.
Yeah, I can tell.
And
well, you have a huge history leading up to this moment.
Because it's my life.
You've connected it. It has saved you in a sense.
It certainly has saved me. I mean, I'm very passionate about it, about the message. I mean, I don't really, there's no way I would just go start an apparel company.
Yeah.
That to me, there's no passion behind that. For me, that'd be boring.
Yeah.
But because of the message behind it, it's kind of like a twofold benefit, right? The message and educating people about, oh wow, look at that now.
That is incredible. It just went below that, that ridge.
Dark red. But educating them, get them inspired to go feel this. Like I wish everyone can feel this, right?
It's amazing.
And you can't just feel this just coming up here and sitting and doing this.
No.
You got to be in the right mind. You got to. There's a lot you have to do to prepare yourself, and that's why, you know, we feel like it's a unification of the mind, body, and spirit. You got to have all 3 working together to feel this extreme emotional response that I'm super passionate about, and want others to feel it. You know.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm testifying.
You're bearing your testimony, Adam. I love it. I can feel it.
No, I'm very. There's a lot of passion behind it, so I'm excited about it. It's just we haven't even launched yet, but we've got our logo. Finally selected after we had like 2,000. I ran a competition, had like 2,000 submissions, and finally found one I feel really good about. So yeah, we have a lot of cool things and ideas associated with it, with getting the community involved. You know, come play with us. You know, and you know, I want to be available to take people. I love bringing people up here. You know, this is a very doable one. This isn't like one of my extreme ones that takes like 12 hours. This is doable, and it's like if you really want to feel just a tiny portion of what you can, let me take you up here.
Have you thought about maybe having an additional potential revenue source? Not like you're looking to get rich, but make it so that it covers your expenses and makes it worth your while. But what if you take either one-on-one or small groups out to specific locations and you help guide them, but also educate, consult, counsel, and share experiences with them?
I'm sure that could be, you know, a portion of it, but I'm not going to be a tour guide.
Okay, well, but this is different.
I wouldn't have time.
This is an experience.
Because I am an attorney, so we
didn't even talk about
I'm juggling that.
You're an attorney. You went to law school, you graduated, and you've been a successful attorney since like 2009?
To me, 2004.
Oh, 2004.
To me, I tell everyone, they're always like, why don't you ever talk about your job? I'm like, it's a means to an end.
Yeah.
The end being my kids.
Yeah.
Recreation, and you know, this.
Getting outdoors.
And so, I've enjoyed my career. You know, it's just, I hate confrontation, and I'm a litigator, and it's just stressful when you don't like confrontation. So, it's been a great career for me, and I've been blessed. But ultimately, my goal is to retire from that and focus just on this company.
Yeah. That's a good goal.
Plus, it would keep me outdoors constantly.
Well, and you need to.
Not that I'm not already. I already am in the outdoors every week, but where I can feel like I'm also getting paid for it.
You know, that's like the best thing that a lot of people look for in life is find something you really enjoy and you're passionate about, and then figure out a way to make a living out of it. So you cover your bills and help save for retirement, and you could do that. And and you need to for your own physiological addiction tendencies and history. You have to continue doing this.
Oh yeah, I can't.
So you're vested.
I can't have idle time. I'm not good alone or not busy. I'm constantly on the go.
Yeah.
I'm always doing something, and it's. I have a goal. I don't ever go to my place during the day.
By
I don't
yourself,
know why.
yeah.
I just feel non-productive. But I'm always, if you see my social media, all the time, I ask it all the time, do you even work? I'm like, I know. So I'm usually posting some adventure every week. But
well, I look at you as because of those photos, man. I look at you as the modern day Ansel Adams. You're out chasing the peaks that most people don't go to, the experiences that most people don't have, off the beaten path.
Yeah, like that one, No Trail.
No
That's
Trail.
one of my favorites. Yeah, and going back to the leaving law behind. I mean,
You'll get there.
But Outdoorgasm, the company. The inspiration behind it is not to get rich.
Oh, yeah.
I don't expect to. It is a life fulfilled if I can do this for a living, right?
Yeah.
And inspire others. Anyone who knows me knows that if you're asking me about my job, you're not going to see me very passionate. But you ask about this stuff, like now, like I can feel it. Like I am just, on fire.
Oh, when you first told me about it, your passion came through, and it's coming through now.
Yeah.
That means you're super passionate about it. People are going to feel that. That's why I told you you're going to be successful, because you're extremely passionate about it. You have a connection to it that is deep inside of you, and you're going to help other people find that connection, and it's going to make insurmountable, changes, or I don't even know if that's the right word. It's going to make profound changes in people's lives if they actually go and try some of these, just getting outdoor moments and connecting with yourself and your spiritual side and Mother Earth. And, you're going to inspire people. You're going to help people. You're going to change people. And you're passionate about it. I think all roads are leading to major success here. And it's not monetary success. Because that's what I talk about with a lot of my guests is success is not defined based upon how many dollars you have in the bank. That is one aspect.
No, not at all.
Every person I've asked out of like 50 episodes have given me a different answer.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about the balance of things, but no one says, I want to just get wealthy.
Yeah. It's, and
That's so beautiful, dude.
I know. But going back to that, I mean, if I can inspire others to feel what I feel, it's like, you went on an LDS mission, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And there was one time I was a believer, and when you believe it, you want others to feel what you're feeling, right?
Yeah.
It's
My
kind of the
belief
same
has
thing,
shifted.
right?
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother topic for another episode.
We could talk. I don't generally talk religion on this podcast because it's just, I don't want to marginalize people. Like, we don't need to go there. We don't need to talk about politics, but belief shifts. Belief do change.
Oh, yeah.
You have experiences in life that help you redefine that.
Yeah. And I accept, here's the thing, like my parents are still very active LDS, and I always say to them and to others, I said, your religion is 100% true to you.
Yeah.
And I fully accept that because it is true to you.
Right.
And what's in here, if you believe it, that's your
Roll
truth,
with
right?
it. Yeah.
And so I've had to redefine over the years, the God's concept, because I spent too many years with this freaking brain spending a lifetime trying to define what isn't God, right?
Yeah.
That I lose sight of what's in front of me.
Exactly.
And so my brain just doesn't work well with religion.
Yeah.
For others it does.
It's not
and
for
that's
everyone.
great because my parents can go feel that spiritual connection in the temple or doing things the same feeling I'm feeling here, right? But I don't define what I feel, right? I just call my higher power Mother Earth, and that's good enough for me. It could be God, right?
It is.
I don't need to know right now.
And the answer is just maybe. It could be. It's possible. However, mine is this.
Yeah, but if I spend too
Yeah.
much time on that, I'm not present anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's religion and belief in a supreme being or God or supreme power. Like, it is so individualized.
It has
And
to be.
it doesn't need to be conformity to a specific structure. And this is amazing. My brother has the same concept. He can't get outdoor. He can't not go outside or outdoors and have a hike or a moment alone for too long. He has to go out to be able to connect with himself spiritually, connect with his spiritual beliefs and his power. And that's fine, dude, because I think it is powerful. Yeah. It is nonetheless your belief and your spirituality come into fruition and healing and drawing out chemical balances in your life and helping you become more productive and successful. Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter if it's in a temple, a monastery, a mosque, altar, or up on this mountain peak at 11 or 12,000 feet altitude, looking at the sunset.
It's, accept me, that my higher power is Mother Earth. Yeah. I accept you if, whatever you believe in.
Yeah.
If it makes you happy and you feel a spiritual connectedness, do it.
Go for it.
That's working for you. Like, I 100% support you,
I agree.
Just as I would hope they would support me. And my parents have been really good about that, so.
That's good. If someone doesn't support you in anything you do, you got to question how important they are in your life.
Yeah.
Because if they're not on your team in anything you pursue, and they're your adversary or your doubt or the skepticism and the nag or whatever, they're not your people, man.
No.
You need to encircle yourself with people that are going to support you in no matter whatever belief, venture, organization, experience you want to pursue in life. You have to encompass and circle yourself around people that support you, uplift you, and encourage you.
And I didn't always.
Honestly, this was really, really amazing. Coming up here.
Thank you, man.
And getting to your spot.
A unique spot.
Yeah, and
for a podcast.
Like hearing your story and what you've gone through in your spot and experiencing your moment that has shaped you to what you're doing today with Outdoorgasm and your future. Dude, thank you.
Yeah,
this is an honor.
Yeah, of course, man. Thanks for having me.
And
Thanks for making the effort to get out of your comfort zone and come up to 12,000 feet for a podcast.
I don't normally do that myself, but I can see how therapeutic it is. Yeah. It is, the endorphins kick in, the beauty. We saw goats on the way up, which was amazing.
Oh, yeah,
I had never hiked and seen goats about 75 yards away from me.
I see them on this mountain all the time.
Incredible.
Beautiful. I love to watch them on the cliffs. Just amazed. That's when I was like, that's my spirit animal.
Yeah.
But just watching them on the cliffs, you're like, how are they not falling off? But yeah, it's beautiful. Now we get to hike down in the dark.
I think it'll be fun.
We've got our headlamps.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
This was epic. I really appreciate it.
Awesome, dude.
Let's keep in touch, and I'd love to see how Outdoorgasm's, evolving. And
yeah, we're hoping to launch this fall. So
awesome.
We've already got some product that's already in the works for photos and stuff like that for promotion, and we're getting the website up here over the next month, and then I already have the Instagram. It's outdoor-gasm.
Nice. Well, I hope that they appreciate the effort you're putting into it.
The what now?
The effort you're putting into it, because you're not holding back. You're putting everything into it. And we're up here having Adam shiver.
I know, I'm cold.
Me shivering. And we have all this gear that we put in our backpack to haul our butt up here to 12,000 feet to have this recording. So I hope you appreciate this episode.
I brought a light sweatshirt. I usually bring something a little heavier. But it's 100 degrees down in the valley, but you're always wearing a jacket and a beanie up here, which is great.
All right, man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for watching this ActiveCast episode with Adam Hoyt. It was so fun to create this. You can see that we had a lot of good conversations, but amazing photography that we captured at sunset. It was just beautiful. It was fun even hiking down on top of Bald Mountain at nighttime with our headlamps. Try not to twist an ankle with all the rocks and boulders we had to go around, but overall, it was worth it. And it taught me a couple valuable lessons. One, that if you want to do anything in life that is worthwhile or achieving your dreams and visions, you have to put forth effort. You have to do the hard things. You have to take steps. And climbing on top of this mountain and creating multiple hours worth of content, it was just complex, hard to do. It was windy. It was an effort. And that is so rewarding to me. If you have a dream and vision, there's nothing keeping you from achieving it. It just takes action and steps. Your dreams and visions matter. Adam Hoyt's dreams and visions matter. And with his company, he is looking to help others realize their dreams and visions and then achieve them. And so for that, I want to say this ActiveCast episode was amazing, powerful, impactful, and I hope it resonates with your soul and that you get motivated to get outdoors and connect with yourself, connect with nature, figure out what your dreams and visions are, and go out there and achieve them. Thank you for your support on the Success Factor. Have a good one.